Okay, so here's chapter 2 of Cam's book club, and don't forget to read chapter 3 for next week.
It's like hot, like I'm sweating. It's so hot in here. What? The AC's starting to go on.
Yeah, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Wait 1 second. Okay, check to see how long that is.
I want to know what Leon looks like.
Hold on.
Come get this thing too, Luke.
Let's see if it worked. Did my Twitter link work? Got number 45. What's up, Liz Bacon? Take your shirt off. My shirt was off, and yours told me to put one on. You don't have to do this. That's fine. I feel like I'm fucking sweating. Alright. Are you guys ready for chapter 2? The Fault in Our Stars by John.
A lot of people are asking if you're okay.
I am fine. Just really sweaty. I haven't even ran to the bathroom in a while. I haven't done it like since I threw up the elevator. Alright. Are you guys ready for chapter 2? Or not? Look at this. Look at this. I got. Oh my gosh. A
Or not.
or not. Bitch what? Bitch what? Love me though. Yeah, let me go. A.
Actually pretty tight.
You have a Kanye West one.
Chicken.
In a llama. This one finally.
I like Kanye.
That's a pretty, yeah, it's pretty dope. Alright guys, are you ready to start the book club? I want to make sure everyone's here. And if this is your first time here, this is like my book club because I need to get better. Well, I need to read more books and I need to get better at pronouncing things and my vocab. So we're reading The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. Yes, I am probably sweating because it's hot and everything. I'm sick. Chapter Dose. Do you remember what happened in chapter 1?
It's in parts.
She's going to Augustus's house. She made that decision. Okay. So are you guys ready? To start.
Which one?
It's hot. Alright, ready guys? Alright, is everyone on chapter 2? Right here. Okay. That's weird. I can zoom out. Sure. It's stalling. Oh crap. Alright, everyone go grab your book. The thing is skipping.
Would you like me to fan you?
No. Okay. You feed me grapes. I'm not allowed to eat grapes. I haven't ate anything. I've been drinking this all day. Don't know what's up. Dang it, it's freezing. Alright, hold on guys. I'm ready even though I read ahead. Okay. Thank you for saying you feel better. This is Yosh. He lives with me. He like watches over us and stuff like that. He's gonna help me correct certain words or like pronounce certain words that I don't know how to pronounce. And you should have got your own book.
This next week I will get my own book.
Happy birthday. Is that Anna? Okay. Are you guys ready? Oh, tweet out hashtag Cam's Book Club too, just in case like other people don't. Just like I'll go retweet you guys. I'm gonna retweet a couple people, and I'll follow you if I don't follow you. So tweet hashtag Cam's Book Club, just in case like anyone didn't see or something like that. But I'm starting. Get your books ready to chapter 2. Thank you, Bianca. Okay. Alright, you guys ready? Okay. Yes, I'm feeling okay. I felt horrible earlier, but let's start. Is the connection better now, guys? Say yes or no. Is the connection better? No. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Alright, I'm gonna start. Ready, go. I'm taking a shower today. Alright, ready? Augustus Wanders drove horrifically. Whether stopping or starting, everything happened with a tremendous jolt. I flew against the seatbelt of his Toyota SUV each time he braked, and my neck snapped backward each time he hit the gas. I might have been nervous. What with sitting in the car of a strange boy on the way to his house. Keenly aware that my cramped lungs complicate efforts to fend off unwanted advances, but his driving was so astonishingly poor that I could think of nothing else. We'd gone perhaps a mile in jagged silence before Augustus said, "I failed the driving test 3 times." You don't say. You laugh, nodding. Well, I can't feel pressure in old prosty. I say that.
Yeah.
Well, I can't feel pressure in old prosty, and I can't get the hang of driving left-footed.
Somebody's
Oh,
prosthetic
shoot.
leg or something.
Oh, prosthetic leg. I get it. You sweat. Okay, dude, it's freaking hot.
Sometimes. Do you know that on my first road test, I hit a dog and I failed? I swear.
I passed one. I got like 14 wrong, and you only allowed 15.
Pass and
Not
pass.
bad. Where was I? My doctors say most amputees can drive with no problem, but yeah, not me. Anyway, I go in for my 4th driving test, and it goes about like this is going. A half mile in front of us, a light turned red. Augustus slammed on the brakes, tossing me into the triangular embrace of the seatbelt. Sorry, I swear to God I'm trying to be gentle, right? So anyway, at the end of the test, I totally thought I'd fail again, but the instructor was like, "Your driving is unpleasant, but it isn't technically unsafe." "I'm not sure I agree," I said. "I suspect cancer perk." Cancer perks are the little things cancer kids get that regular kids don't. Basketballs signed by sports heroes, free passes on late homework, unearned driver's license, etc. "Yeah," he said. The light turned green. I braced myself. Augustus slammed the gas. "You know they've got hand controls for people who can't use their legs," I pointed out. "Yeah," he said. "Maybe someday," he sighed. "Maybe someday." He sighed in a way that made me wonder whether he was confident about the existence of someday. I knew osteosarcoma was highly curable, but still. There are a number of ways to establish someone's approximate survival expectations without actually asking. I use a classic, "So, are you in school?" Generally, your parents pull you out of school at some point. They expect you to bite it. "Yeah," he said. "I'm at North Central, a year behind though. I'm a sophomore. You?" I considered lying. No one likes a corpse, after all. But in the end, I told the truth. "No, my parents withdrew me 3 years ago." 3 years? He asked, astonished. I told Augustus a broad outline of my miracle, diagnosed with stage 4? Stage 4? Yeah, stage 4 thyroid cancer when I was 13. I didn't tell him that the diagnosis came 3 months after I got my first period. Like, congratulations, you're a woman. Now die. It's hot, like I'm sweating.
Let me close the door.
Alright. It was. We were told incurable. I had a surgery called radical neck dissection, which is about as pleasant as it sounds. Then radiation. Then they tried some chemo for my lung tumors. Tumors shrank, then grew. By then I was 14. My lungs started to fill up with water. I was looking pretty dead. My hands and feet ballooned. My skin cracked. My lips were perpetually blue. They've got this drug that makes you not feel so completely terrified about the fact that you can't breathe. And I had a lot of it flowing into me through a PICC line. Pick one, but PICC. And more than a dozen other drugs besides. But even so, there's a certain unpleasantness to drowning, particularly when it occurs over the course of several months. I finally ended up in the ICU with pneumonia. Is that right? And my mom knelt by the side of my bed and said, "Are you ready, sweetie?" By the way, we're at the top of page 25. Why are you not my English teacher? Because I can read it. I'm trying to get better at reading, which is why I miss some words. Okay, I got my pet turtle. Congratulations. That's dope. Did you get a pet turtle?
Turtles are cool.
I love you, Brittany. And okay. And I told her I was ready, and my dad just kept telling me he loved me in this voice that was not breaking so much as already broken. And I kept telling him that I loved him too. I loved him too. And everyone was holding hands, and I couldn't catch my breath. My lungs were acting desperate, gasping, pulling me out of the bed, trying to find a position that could get them air, and I was embarrassed by their desperation. Disgusted that they wouldn't just let go, and I remembered my mom telling me it was okay, that I was okay, that I would be okay. And my father was trying so hard not to sob that when he did, which was regularly, it was an earthquake, and I remember wanting not to be awake. Everyone figured I was finished, but my cancer doctor Maria managed to get some of the fluid out of my lungs, and shortly thereafter the antibiotics they'd given me for the pneumonia kicked in. I woke up and soon got into one of those experimental trials that are famous in the Republic of Pennsylvania for not working. The drug was Falanixor. I don't know how to say that. Does anyone know how to pronounce that? Falanixor.
Yeah, I don't know. Zyphor. Zyphor.
Look at you, say thank you. I love you, Ava. What does that do with him? This is Yosh, and he's helping me pronounce words. He lives with me. And he's taking care of me now that I'm sick. So that's why he's here. And he's the boss. Okay. I woke up and soon got into one of those experimental trials that are famous in the Republic of Pennsylvania for not working. The drug was Falanixor. Falanixor. I think. I don't know how, but skip it. This molecule designed to attach itself to cancer cells and slow their growth. It didn't work in about 70% of people, but it worked in me. The tumors shrank, and they stayed shrunk. Huzzah, Falanixor. I don't know why they would put that word in there. I don't know how to say it. In the past 18 months, my Mets have hardly grown, leaving me with lungs that suck at being lungs but could conceivably struggle along indefinitely with the assistance of drizzled oxygen and daily Falanixor. Admittedly, my cancer miracle had only resulted in a bit of purchase time. I did not yet know the size of the bit, but when telling Augustus Waters, I painted the rosiest possible picture, embellishing the miraculousness of the miracle. So now you've got to go back to school, he said. I actually can't, I explained, because I already got my GED, so I'm taking classes at MCC. which is our community college. A college girl, he said, nodding. That explains the aura. Right? The aura. That explains the aura of sophistication. He smirked at me. I shoved his upper arm playfully. I could feel the muscle right beneath the skin, all tense in the making. We made a wheels screeching turn into a subdivision with 8 foot. Oh crap. Hold on, guys. The screen went black. Oh. The book we're on is The Fault in Our Stars, and we're on page 26 at the last paragraph. Okay. Ready? I love you, Maddie. We jerked to a halt in his driveway. I followed him inside. A wooden plaque in the entryway was engraved in cursive with the words, "Home is where the heart is," and the entire house turned out to be festooned in such observations. Good friends are hard to find and impossible to forget. Read an illustration above the cutback. True love is born from hard times, promised a needlepoint pillow in their antique furnished living room. Augustus saw me reading. My parents call them encouragements, he explained. They're everywhere. His mom and dad called him Gus. They were making enchiladas in the kitchen. Ooh, chicken enchiladas are the best. A piece of stained glass by the sink read in bubbly letters, "Families forever." His mom was putting chicken into tortillas, which his dad then rolled up and placed in a glass pan. They didn't seem too surprised by my arrival, which made sense. The fact that Augustus made me feel special did not necessarily indicate that I was special. Maybe he brought home a different girl every night to show her movies and fill her up. "This is Hazel Grace," he said, by way of introduction. "Just Hazel," he said. "How's it going, Hazel?" asked Gus's dad. He was tall, almost as tall as Gus, and skinny in a way that parentally aged people usually aren't. "Okay," I said. "How was Isaac's support group?" "It was incredible," Gus said. "You're such a Debbie Downer." His mom said, "Hazel, do you enjoy it?" I paused a second, trying to figure out if my response should be calibrated to please Augustus or his parents. "Most of the people are really nice," I finally said. "That's exactly what we found with families at Memorial." 28, page 28. Memorial. When we were in the thick of it with Gus's treatment, his dad said. "Everybody was so kind, strong too. In the darkest days, the Lord puts the best people into your life. Quick, give me a throw pillow and some thread because that needs to be an encouragement," Augustus said, and his dad looked a little annoyed, but then Gus wrapped his long arm around his dad's neck and said, "I'm just kidding, Dad. I like the freaking encouragements. I really do. I just can't admit it because I'm a teenager." His dad rolled his eyes. "You're joining us for dinner, I hope?" asked his mom. She was small and brunette and vaguely mousy. "I guess," I said. "I have to be home by 10. Also, I don't, eat meat." "No problem. We'll vegetarianize some," she said. "Animals are just too cute," Gus asked. "Animals are just too cute," Gus asked. "I want to minimize the number of deaths I am responsible for," I said. Gus opened his mouth to respond, but then stopped himself. His mom filled the silence. "Well, I think that's wonderful." They talked to me for a bit about how the enchiladas were famous waters enchiladas and not to be missed, and about how Gus's curfew was also 10, and how they were inherently distrustful of anyone who gave their kids curfews other than 10, and I was in school. "She's a college student," Augustus interjected, and how the weather was truly and absolutely extraordinary for March, and how in spring all things are new. And they didn't even once ask me about the oxygen or my diagnosis, which was weird and wonderful. And then Augustus said, "Hazel and I are going to watch V for Vendetta, so she can see her filmic doppelganger, isn't it?
Yeah.
Doppelganger.
A doppelganger is someone who looks exactly like you.
Oh. We are on the top of page 29. I love you, Jenna. Are you guys following? Okay. So she can doppelganger. Mid-2000s Natalie Portman. The living room TV is yours for the watching, his dad said happily. I think we're actually going to watch it in the basement. His dad laughed. Good try. Living room. But I wanted to show Hazel Grace the basement, Augusta said. Just Hazel, he said. So show just Hazel the basement, said his dad, and then come upstairs and watch a movie in the living room. Augustus puffed out his cheeks, balanced on his legs, and twisted his hips, throwing the prosthetic forward. Fine, he mumbled. I followed him down carpet stairs to the huge basement bedroom. A shelf at my eye level reached all the way around the room, and it was stuffed solid with basketball memorabilia. Dozens of trophies with gold, plastic men, mid-jump shot or dribbling or reaching for a layup toward an unseen basket. There were also lots of signed balls and sneakers. I used to play basketball, he explained. You must have been pretty good. I wasn't bad, but all the shoes and balls are cancer pricks. He walked toward the TV, where a huge pile of DVDs and video games were arranged in a vague pyramid shape. Bent at the waist and snapped up V for Vendetta. I was like the prototypical white Hoosier. I was the prototypical white Hoosier kid, he said. I was all about resurrecting the lost art of the mid-range jumper. But then one day I was shooting free throws, just standing at the foul line at North Central Gym shooting from a rack of balls. All at once I couldn't figure out why I was methodically tossing a spherical object through a
Toroidal, maybe?
Toroidal object. It seemed like the stupidest thing I could possibly do. I started thinking about the little kids putting a cylindrical peg through a circular hole, and how they do it over and over again for months when they figure it out, and how basketball was basically just a slightly more aerobatic version of the same exercise. Anyway, aerobic. And how basketball was just a slightly more aerobic version of that same exercise. Anyway, for the longest time, I just kept sinking free throws. I hit 80 in a row. We played
I think you did hit.
a basketball game. We played like an arcade game. You know those arcade basketball games? And I killed it. I got like 400 points still in that. But as I kept going, I felt more and more like a 2-year-old. And then for some reason, I started to think about my hurdlers. Are you okay? We're at the top of page 31, guys. The Fault in Our Stars. Yes, this is Yosh. He's the boss. He's helping me while I'm sick and he's helping me pronounce words. But, bye, Rachel. Get to go. Love you, Jess. This way. Anyway. Great. You guys ready to continue? Cool. I'd taken a seat on the corner of his unmade bed. I wasn't trying to be suggestive or anything. I just got kind of tired and I had to stand a lot. I'd stood in the living room and then there had been the stairs, and then more standing, which was quite a lot of standing for me, and I didn't want to faint or anything. I was a bit of a Victorian lady, fainting-wise. I'm fine, I said, just listening. Hurdlers? Yeah, hurdlers. I don't know why. I started thinking about them running their hurdle races and jumping over these totally arbitrary objects that had been set in their path, and I wondered if hurdlers ever thought, you know, this would go faster if we just got rid of the hurdles. This was before your diagnosis, I asked? Right. What's up? Yeah. You can bring Matt. Come say hi.
You in your book club?
Yeah.
What's that? Oh, snap. What's up, everybody? How you doing? How camera reading going? How you doing, buddy?
Still good. Fault in Our Stars.
I got to like chapter 2 and I kind of forgot about it.
Maybe you should
Yeah.
join the book club.
I know, so yeah, I did. Yeah. I actually do like it.
You want to sit next to me?
Yeah, sure. What chapter you on?
Okay, now we're on. It's like.
Why don't you get that live stream?
Right.
Oh, lovely. I can't write this down.
Alright. Yes. We're in the middle of page 31. This is Master Jose, if you don't know him, and he wants to join the book club.
Should we let him?
Should we let him join the book club?
Should we let him join the book club?
Okay. Right. This was before your diagnosis, I asked. Right. Well, there was that too. He smiled with half his mouth. The day of existence brought free throws. Was coincidentally also my last days of dual legendness. I had a weekend between when they scheduled the amputation and when it happened. My own little glimpse of what Isaac is going through. I nodded. I liked Gus's Waters. I really, really, really liked him. I liked the way his story ended with someone else. I liked his voice. I liked that he took existently fraught free throws. I liked that he was a tenor, professor in the Department of Slightly Crooked Smiles with a dual appointment department of having a voice that made my skin feel more like skin. And I liked that he had 2 names. Sorry? Read this right here.
Sure. I've always liked people with 2 names, because you get to make up your mind with what you call them, Gus or Augustus. Me, I was just like Hazel. Unavailable Hazel. Do you have siblings, I asked. Huh? He answered, seeming a little distracted. He said that thing about watching kids play. Oh, yeah, no. I have nephews. From my half-sisters, but they're older. They're like, Dad, how old are Julie and Martha? 28. They're like 28. They live in Chicago. They are both married to fancy lawyer dudes, or banker dudes. I can't remember. Do you have siblings?
I shook my head no. So what's your story, he asked, sitting down next to me at a safe distance. I already told you my story. I was diagnosed with, no, not your cancer story, your story. Interests, hobbies, passions, weird fetishes, etc. I said, don't tell me you're one of those people who becomes their disease. I know so many people like that. It's disheartening. Like cancer is in the growth business, right? The taking people over business, but surely you haven't let it succeed prematurely. It occurred to me that perhaps I had. I struggled with how to pitch myself to Augustus Waters, which enthusiasms to embrace, and in the silence that it followed, it occurred to me that I wasn't very interesting. I'm pretty unextraordinary. I rejected that out of hand. Think of something you like. The first thing that comes to mind. Reading. What do you read? Everything. From like hideous romance to pretentious fiction to poetry. Whatever. Do you write poetry too? Ugh. Do you write poetry too? No, I don't write. There, Augustus almost shouted. Hazel Grace, you are the only teenager in America first reading poetry to writing. This tells me so much. You read a lot of capital G great books, don't you? I guess. What's your favorite? I said, my favorite book by my favorite book. Isn't it hot, Marv? It's very hot.
Is it? It's not that hot. I think it's not hot. I'm gonna get water really quick. It's like,
Here's 100 shots of this. My favorite book by a wide margin was an Imperial Affliction, but I didn't like to tell people about it. Sometimes you read a book and it fills you with this weird evangelical. Sometimes you read a book and it fills you with this weird evangelical. Is that it?
Evangelical.
Sometimes you read a book and it fills you with this evangelical zeal, and become convinced that the shattered world will never be put back together unless and until all living humans read the book. And then there are books like An Imperial Affliction, which you can't tell people about. Books so special and rare, and yours that advertising. Books so special and rare, and yours that advertising your affection feels like a betrayal. It wasn't even that the book was so good or anything. It was just that the author, Peter Van Houten, seemed to understand me in a weird and impossible way. Understanding me in weird and impossible ways. An imperial affliction was my book. In the way my body was my body, and my thoughts were my thoughts. Even so, I told Augustus, my favorite book is probably Imperial Affliction. I said, does it feature zombies, he asked. No, I said, stormtroopers? I shook my head. It's not that kind of book, he smiled. I am going to read this terrible book with a boring title that does not contain stormtroopers, he promised, and I immediately felt like I shouldn't have told him about it. Augustus spun around to a stack of books beneath his bedside table. He grabbed the paperback and the pen. As he scribbled an inscription onto the title page, he said, All I ask in exchange is that you read this brilliant and haunting novelization of my favorite video game. He held up the book, which was called The Prince of Dawn. I laughed and took it. Our hands kind of got muddled together in that book handoff. And then he was holding my hand. Cold, he said, pressing a finger to my pale wrist. Not cold so much as oxygenated. Not cold so much as under-oxygenated. That's such a weird word. Say it.
Under-oxygenated.
Oh, so good. I said, I love it when you talk medical to me, he said. He stood and pulled me up with him. I did not let go of my hand until we reached the stairs. We watched the movie with several inches of couch between us. I did the totally middle schooly thing, wherein I put my hand on the couch about halfway between us to let him know that it was okay to hold it, but he didn't try. An hour into the movie, Augustus's parents came in and served us the enchiladas, which we ate on the couch, and they were pretty delicious. The movie was about this heroic guy in a mask who died heroically for Natalie Portman, who's pretty badass and very hot and does not have anything approaching my puffy steroid face. As the credits rolled, he said, "Pretty great, huh?" "Pretty great," I agreed. Although it wasn't really. It was kind of a boy movie. I don't know why boys expect us to like boy movies. We don't expect them to like girl movies. I should get home. Class in the morning, he said. I sat on the couch for a while as Augustus searched for his keys. His mom sat down next to me and said, "I just love this one, don't you?" I guess I had been looking toward the encouragement above the TV. A drawing of an angel with the caption, "Without pain, how could we know joy?" This is an old argument in the field of thinking about suffering, and its stupidity and lack of sophistication could be plumbed for centuries. But suffice it to say that the existence of broccoli does not in any way affect the taste of chocolate. Yes, I said. A lovely thought. I drove Augustus' car home, with Augustus riding the shotgun. He played me a couple songs he liked by a band called The Hectic Blow, and they were good songs. But because I didn't know them already, they weren't as good as me. They weren't as good to me as they were to him. I kept glancing over at his leg, or the place where his leg had been, trying to imagine what the fake leg looked like. I didn't want to care about it, but I did a little. He probably cared about my oxygen. Illness repulses. I learned that a long time ago and suspected Augustus had too. As I pulled up outside of my house, Augustus clicked the radio off. The air thickened. He was probably thinking about kissing me, and I was definitely thinking about kissing him. Wondering if I wanted to.
It's so weird hearing you say that.
Wondering if I wanted to. I'd kiss boys, but it had been a while, pre-miracle.
Someone Taylor.
I put the car in park and looked over at him. He really was beautiful. I know boys aren't supposed to be, but he was. "Hazel Grace," he said, with my name new and better in his voice. "It had been a real pleasure to make your acquaintance." "Ditto, Mr. Waters," I said. I felt shy looking at him. I could not match the intensity of his water blue eyes. "May I see you again?" he asked. There was an endearing nervousness in his voice. I smiled. "Sure." "Tomorrow?" he asked. "Patience, grasshopper," I canceled. "You don't want to see over eager." "Right, that's why I said tomorrow," he said. "I want to see you again tonight, but I'm willing to wait all night and much of tomorrow." I rolled my eyes. "I'm serious," he said. "You don't even know me," I said. I grabbed the book from the center console. "How about I call you when I finish this?" "But you don't even have my phone number," he said. "I strongly suspect you wrote it in the book." He broke out in that goofy smile. "And you say we don't know each other." Chapter 3. My eyes are good.
You feel better?
Kind of. So, chapter 3. Oh, shoot.
Just give him a little summary.
Oh, yeah, I am.
Like, yeah, Hazel was like, good Xbox, and Augusta was like,
So, chapter 2, what did you guys think? What'd you think?
I thought it was okay. A couple more things are starting to happen.
Yeah, I think maybe next 2 chapters, like, things start to get like really interesting. Or now it's kind of just like playing on. That's cool that they find out they like each other, and they got to hold hands for the first time.
Aww, so romantic.
I've never held a girl's hand, by the way, guys. Never.
I have.
You have?
Yeah, a
What
couple.
was it like?
It was great. Best day of my life.
Really?
Yeah.
I dreamt about it last night, but I know it would never happen.
Aww.
What do you think of it? You guys have any questions?
Oh, they want you to hold their hand.
Hold my hand.
Elena, hold his hand.
Look at my nails are kind of dirty. Ooh, this one's long. My nails are long. Yeah, Reed, I love your voice. What do you think about the book, Cam? I like the book. I just want to. I want to like read some more chapters right now, but I don't have time. Do you guys think it would be cool to like read one chapter by yourself, and then when we come back the next week, we'll read the next chapter? So like right now we're on chapter 3. So you guys read chapter 3 by yourself, and then next Tuesday. Next Tuesday we'll read chapter 4. You guys like that idea? Is that better? Oh, you're on chapter. No, don't do that. Yes. I haven't seen the movie. I want to see the movie though. Are you gonna read? I mean, I'm not just reading this book, guys. So if you're scared that I'm just gonna like finish the book quicker, I'm gonna pick another book, something that you guys want me to do. But yeah, I'm gonna go on Twitter right now. So tweet #Cam's Book Club, and I'm gonna be tweeting you guys back and like asking your opinion on the book so far, what happened in chapter 2, and stuff like that. What you think I can do better in Cam's Book Club. I think I'm gonna be setting up like a sign up thing. I'm not sure. But yeah, you can read it on your own. Fuck, it goes too fast.
Let us know your thoughts.
I love you, Grace. Yeah, tweet #Cam's Book Club and like tell me your thoughts. Read with passion. Yeah, passion.
It's all about having passion when you read.
I know it's read with passion. I mean, I'm sure I'll get like emotional like throughout the book, but right now there's nothing really going on. I don't know. I do read it in like a deadpan kind of way.
It's getting there. It has to develop.
Yeah, I'm like for acting classes. I'm like getting. Well, they want me to read more books so I can learn how to enunciate and properly. Oh, my hand in your face. Enunciate and properly pronounce words and stuff like that. I haven't read a book in like forever. But yeah, so I'm working on it. So maybe, hopefully, towards the end of the book, I will be reading with passion. For my YouTube video, I'm going to be uploading on Thursday because I got food poisoning today and there's like a bunch of things. But I think you guys are really going to like it. It's with Jerome Jar. And I think you guys will really like it. Any questions? Yeah, food poisoning does suck. Oh, so basically the way I got food poisoning, we went to the plane, and they loaded us in the plane, and we're about to take off, and then all of a sudden the weather like turns for the worst, and it freaking we're like on the runway like waiting to take off, and the weather just like turned. I don't know why. I mean, obviously I don't know why. It's Mother Nature, but we ended up sitting in the plane without taking off for 3.5 hours. And I ordered salmon previously, so I think that it was waiting there for 3.5 hours. And then when we took off, it took them 45 minutes to bring me the salmon. And, like, it was kind of good. It was alright. But, like, when I think of salmon now, I just want to throw up. But we landed. And, like, I kept telling Yosh and Nash, because he was with us in New York, both of them. I was like, dude, my stomach hurts. And on the ride home, I was like, my stomach hurts. We got home at, like, what time? 12? We got home at, like, 12. And they were going to go out to eat, like, go to Crave or something. It's like a diner. Yeah, but I was like, oh, I'm gonna stay in because my stomach hurts. So I fell asleep, and I woke up, and I had to poop really bad. I had like diarrhea. So I ran I have a bathroom room, and I ran in there, and then, like, when I was sleeping previously, like, my stomach hurt, and like, I was having like a horrible time like sleeping. And after I went to the bathroom, I fell back asleep, and I woke up again. This time I had diarrhea again, but I had to throw up too. And I was like, well, you have both, like you're throwing up and it's diarrhea, so. Oh yeah, I feel so good. Yeah, so I had crappy sleep the whole night, and then I woke up. He got me a water bottle, which is cool. Out of that.
6 a.m.
Yeah, and then I fell back asleep. Woke up again at 8. Woke him up, and then we went to CVS to get some like Gatorades and water and stuff. And so basically, we're in the car and we're driving back home, and I'm like just feeling horrible. And I'm drinking Pedialyte, and I was red when I was drinking it. We park the car and we go to the elevator to go up to our house, and I like felt super sick. Like I was just like kneeling down, and I was like I didn't want to throw up because I hate throwing up. And I ended up throwing up like a gallon of this green liquid like out of my mouth and my nose, and it was just like shh,
Explosion.
like it was just. It really wasn't disgusting. I actually felt like relieved.
Should have got a video of that. That was cool.
Yeah, it was a lot. And then we went up, and I was trying to hold it in the elevator. And we went up, and I ran to the trash can again, and I just threw up. I know you guys are saying ill, but people get sick, so that's a common thing to throw up and have diarrhea.
Don't eat salmon
Yeah.
on planes if it's waiting for 4 hours.
People are saying ew. Oh. Yeah, so I've actually been in bed all day today, which sucks because I was on the plane for 8 hours doing nothing. Then I come home and I'm here for how long?
16 hours.
Yeah, 16 more hours. Like, how crappy is that? So, that's that. I will go on Twitter right now. Thank you, Morgan, for saying feel better. I appreciate it. I love you, Bella. I love you, Raven. I love you, Samantha. I love you, Natalie. And I love all of you guys, but I'm going to go on Twitter. Here's a kiss to make you feel better.
Daniela.
Ooh. Yep. So go on Twitter, do the hashtag Cam's Book Club, and I'm going to be answering you guys there. Alright? Bye, guys. Love you. Say peace, yo.
Later, guys. Keep read chapter 3.
Yeah, read chapter 3.
Read chapter 3.
Read chapter 3, and then we'll read chapter 4 together next Tuesday. And I'm still going to call people tomorrow for now. Alright? Bye, guys. Love you.
Bye.